This is why they got me here. This is why I'm in here. That's what we want to fucking hear. Oh, did I curse? Did I say the F word? Maybe I could be an NBA executive. This jackass GM, not that, listen, I don't mind a little profanity. But this jackass GM is supposed to be an adult saying fuck Brooklyn. I mean, you could say a lot of things. You chose the word fuck Brooklyn to your fans? You stupid shit. You immature ass. And that's why, listen, we all criticized J Kidd in the beginning. We wanted him hung. But the more he sticks around, the more you're starting to like what you see. And it's a perfect response. You're going to have to tell me who the GM is, because I don't know who it is. You stupid ass. Fuck Brooklyn. Well, here's the deal. It's only a game, and we aren't going to get excited, and we are not buying our Eastern Conference semifinal tickets yet. But what we've realized is that this team is very well equipped to play a playoff game and to deliver in clutch spots. And why? Well, number 34 is a big reason why. Number 34 is a badass. Number 34 was brought here to be a badass. Number 2 is a badass. And we know about number 7 at the end of the game. See, last year we lost to the Chicago Bulls. Last year we beat the Bulls by 20 or so, whatever it was, in game 1. And every media expert had us winning that series in 5. Two things they did. They overestimated our toughness, which was none last year, and they underestimated Chicago's toughness. Well, this year, folks are doing the same thing after we beat Toronto. Now, we did win on the road, which is significant as to last year we won at home. So, and I do believe we will beat Toronto. I said it, I predicted, and I'm Mr. freaking pessimist. And I predicted we'd beat Toronto in 6. I'm not changing 6, because I still believe that this will be a dogfight. Toronto is good. I believe they will be more relaxed going forward. Can we expect DeRozan and Ross to be dreadful again? I do not expect them to be dreadful again. However, the flip side to that is Thornton and Mirza are not going to be 1 for 10 going forward neither. So that kind of balanced it out a little bit, in my opinion. This is going to be a dogfight, but let's not get crazy. The difference between this year and last year is, besides the wholesale changes to the roster, last year our toughest player was Gerald Wallace, who I still love. I should have listed him as one of my favorite Nets, because in his couple of years, year and a half here, I really did love what he did. He just stunk offensively, and so did Reggie Evans. Loved him too. The difference is the guys with balls last year, those two guys couldn't follow it up and put the ball in the basket, where the guys with balls this year, number 34, can put the ball in the basket. He can make a difference offensively, where Wallace had to make a difference with a screen, offensive rebound, a defensive play. Now that's like Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston makes an impact with his defense, with his hustle, and he gives you 10, 12 points and some tough baskets. He had 2 or 3 key baskets, and there's offensive depth that was not there last year. Last year, Johnson, as we know, and he still did this year, would disappear. And then the pressure would be on D-Nil. And we know how he performs in the fourth quarter. As good as he played the other day, his fourth quarter was non-existent. He doesn't play well in the fourth quarter. He had a great first quarter, and we all know about Brooke Shields last year. Brooke was and is a first ballot, first quarter Hall of Famer. Guy scored 10, 12 points every first quarter, looked great, and then would disappear. So the difference is this year we've got a guy, Pierce, and the emergence of Mirza when he's hot. Sometimes he's in the game late. The Marcus Thornton sometimes is in the game late. Kid is not afraid to take those 4 guys, Johnson, D-Nil, Will. Let's give him Will for the day. Pierce, Garnett, and then add whoever is the flavor of the day. You know, the flavor of the day could be Livingston. It could be AK. It could be Mirza. It could be Marcus. You know, maybe it could even be Blatch sometimes. Although Blatch really is driving you crazy lately, is he not? The point is, I felt like we had an advantage on Toronto, and I feel like that will play forward. Now, I expect Toronto to win in Game 2. I know letting net fans, I expect Toronto to even the series, and I expect Toronto to win a game in Brooklyn. I expect us to be going back to Toronto for a Game 5, which will be just as crazy an atmosphere as it was in Game 1. Only nuttier because it'll be an evening crowd. There'll be a little more alcohol abuse, I'm sure. I don't know, do they drink in Toronto? I'm sure they do. And I believe we'll steal that game, come home, and win in 6, and then we'll take on Miami. And I know people think I'm nuts for thinking that Charlotte's going to give them out. Now listen, if Jefferson is hurt, he's got maybe the onset of plantar fasciitis. If that's the case, then you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I expect them to go deep. But with a healthy Jefferson, I believe that they have the ability to extend that series to 6 or 7 games. I predicted 7. If Jefferson's not healthy, then forget it. You know, it's probably a 5-game series. But don't want to be advancing to the semifinals yet. A lot of business to take care of. Kyle Lowry is a badass. He outplayed. I mean, listen, everybody's giving D. Will credit, but he did. You know, D. Will, I believe, is 6 for 8 to start the game, and then 2 for 12 the rest of the way. All right, and he did only have 3 assists. I was happy. He only turned the ball over once, but 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 rebound. Look at Kyle Lowry. You want to compare Kyle Lowry to him? Kyle Lowry had 22 points, just 2 less than he did. 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Now, Lowry did turn the ball over 5 times. So it was a big thing. We forced him into some turnovers. We forced the big guy into some turnovers. And that's why I'm pretty confident in saying that I believe that we will win the series. I think we're deeper. Our bench, as I said at the start of the series when I tweeted with the guys on the radio show, our bench is talented, tested, and proven. We get a lot out of our guys off the bench, and I expect them to play a lot better than they did. It's fun to see. One of the best things to see. I mean, you wouldn't have had a guy talk any shit like Pierce did last year. You didn't have it. Like I said, the toughest guy that you would look to for in spiritual or whatever you want to call it, leadership was Gerald Wallace, and the guy at times couldn't score. Reggie Evans can't score. In the last 4 minutes of a game, we have 5 guys on the floor that can put the ball in the hole, and 4 of them. Really, all 5, if you count Livingston and Garnett, they all can create their own shot and get their own shot. Where last year you have Wallace and Evans, which teams Chicago did not guard in the playoffs. They dared you to beat them. So that's the difference. That's why I think this team will advance. But we do not get excited and we do not celebrate the victory until it's done. This Raptor team will not go easily. Anybody that thinks is going to be a cakewalk is, in my opinion, crazy, because I believe every single game will be close. I do not believe either team will have, with 6 minutes to go in a game, I believe every one of these games will be within 10. And, hopefully Charlotte can give Miami somewhat of a series, make them work a little bit. And we can look forward to the matchup with the Heat. Boy, does it now look like, how bad does Indiana look? Or Atlanta comes in and beat them. Poor Knicks. I feel bad. We feel bad for you, Knicks fans, that you couldn't squeeze into that 8 spot and get yourself a victory over the Pacers, because this was the year to be an 8. If there ever was a year to be an 8 in the Eastern Conference, Knicks fans, this was the year to do it. Because Indiana look like a 6, 7 seed, limping into playoffs as a 1 seed. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen this in my lifetime. A 1 seed looks so vulnerable. Now, I still think they're going to come back too, but boy, to come out at home and get blown out by the Atlanta Hawks in game 1, boy, doesn't look good. I expect a dogfight in game 2. I do not expect a victory. If we beat them, the series is over. It's over. If we beat them Tuesday night, we take any drama away. Am I saying that Toronto's not going to show up in game 3? No, I'm just saying that we'll split those two. We'll go 3-1. We'll have a 3-1 lead going back to Toronto and, lose that one and come back. We're not going to lose 2 games to Toronto in the series. Not going to happen. We may lose 1. I expect to lose 1, but not 2. So, Tuesday, win a game. Series is over, in my opinion. Till then, leave me alone.